Good morning everyone. Welcome to the English class for 10th standard. Today in this video I will be taking up second part of chapter 3. While introducing chapter 3, I told you this chapter is divided into two parts wherein we will be reading two stories. One was about the seagull and second about a pilot and his aeroplane. So this is for that second story of chapter number 3. The title of the story is The Black Aeroplane. Now, the message of this story is very important, hence, I will be discussing the message before the story. The message of the story is that there is always hope among despair. Whenever you feel lost, whenever you feel it is the end, there is definitely some light at the end of the tunnel that is going to guide you through and that is going to lead you out of your difficulties. The point is how you see or how well you see and you take that guidance. So the story that I am going to discuss now in this video is about a pilot who belongs to England and who is flying his old Dakota. Dakota is the name of his plane. He is flying it over France because his flight is bound from Paris to England. Now, while in the plane, he is very excited in calculating the time because he is hoping that if everything is favorable, then he is going to be right in time for his great English breakfast. Now, he seems very fond of his country and of the breakfast that he is going to enjoy in the coming morning. Everything was fine. Suddenly, what happens is he sees a storm approaching, and it's not a very easy one. He sees he is very suddenly gathered from all the sides by strong black clouds. He feels lost in the sky. He is not going to find his way through. He feels very sad. Forget about his breakfast. He's not sure whether he's going to reach safe. He's going to land safe. Initially, when he had seen the signals of the storm, he had the option of returning back and landing in Paris. But he ignored those initial signals, thinking it must not be great, it must be just a passing storm, and he can very well cross it to reach England because that was what was luring him. Now we can take that was his first mistake. But anyhow, for the love of his nation and food, he continued. And when he was surrounded from all around, when he saw no way out, then is when the problem started. Why? What was the problem? Now he did not have the option of going back and landing in Paris because he had limited fuel. Now he was not very far away from England and he had to go to England only given the limited fuel that he was left with in his old Dakota. Somehow he is clueless and he decides to move wherever it's possible. He has left all sense of direction. He was puzzled. And owing to this storm, resultantly, his compass, other gadgets, communication, everything was also broken. Now he's not able to communicate down. He's not able to check the direction. And he is not able to guess where actually he is trapped. When he is beginning to be depressed, to lose all hope, suddenly amidst those black clouds, a black plane emerges. Now, strange thing about this plane is it does not have lights on its wings. Like there are certain rules which are to be followed by every flying object, and as per the pilot, there must have been lights. But naturally, since it was so stormy, he himself has lost so many gadgets and communication devices. He knew that the other plane must also have been caught in the storm and some problem with the lights must have appeared. He was barely able to see which plane or which pilot was there along with him, but he was happy to see another life there in the sky amidst the storm. He was happy that there is somebody else to be his company during this time. And then suddenly he saw that the pilot of the black aeroplane is waving his hand at him. He was delighted that yes, maybe he has lost, he needs help, or maybe has seen me lost and he has come to help. But anyhow, now we are two. Fine. Now the black aeroplane moved ahead of his plane, and he understood that that wave from the pilot was a hint or a gesture to follow him. He is going to lead me through. This pilot of Dakota, he followed the black aeroplane for half an hour or so, like a little child. Like a little child means a child will never question. Naturally, if he is with a stranger, where he is going from the favorable situations to the unfavorable ones, the child is going to question. But given the condition here, the pilot has no other hope. This is the only hope, like a lost child who finds somebody whom he has seen. Would never question. He would trust that this one is going to take me out of the danger. Similarly, the pilot of Dakota blindly followed the black aeroplane. Now, for half an hour or so, they fought with the storm. The plane twisted, turned, and was shaking here and there, all around in the storm, amongst those black clouds with zero visibility ahead. But after half an hour, when there were a huge thickness of clouds, the black aeroplane also disappeared. The pilot was again lost. He again felt disheartened that now what? I have limited fuel to go only for next 5 to 10 minutes. And now I have lost the one who was guiding me. And if in next 5 to 10 minutes I don't land, I am going to crash with my plane here in the air in the storm. But fortunately, when he saw down, he could see the lights of the runway. He was extremely delighted, and at this moment, he felt about the black aeroplane, whether now he is in trouble or he is lost. But he turned back and he could not see any black aeroplane there. He was worried, but at this moment, with a limited amount of fuel left, he felt it safe to land his flight. So he landed as he could see the lights of the runway, and safely he moved out of his plane with enough fuel to land and went inside the airport. When he went inside the airport, there was an attendant lady sitting there. Right at that moment, he went to the lady, and the first question that he asked was, "What about the black aeroplane?" There was another aeroplane that was flying with me in this storm, and I could not see him when I was just about to land. Do you have any idea about that? Has he also landed? But the lady looked quite strangely at this pilot. Very strangely, and she did not understand, as if she did not understand what the pilot is asking. On not getting any answer, the pilot moved ahead to find out where he is and how he was held. But the strange thing is, the lady looked strangely at the pilot, which she told the pilot is, "Sorry, sir, your plane was the only plane we could see on the radar, and forget about black, there was no plane at all in the air apart from your plane. We could not receive any signals from anywhere, we could not trace anything on the radar apart from you and your plane." The pilot was really shocked and surprised at it. Now, what was this? Who was this man in the black aeroplane? Who was flying the black aeroplane? Remains a mystery, not disclosed in the story. Now, why is it a mystery? Who do you think must have helped the pilot in a safe landing? We may have our individual opinions, but my opinion here is, which I would like you to ponder upon, is it was the pilot's own consciousness that directed him to get out of the difficult situations. Naturally, if he's a trained pilot, he was ready for the storms, but he had left the hope. He had gone into deep despair, and that is why he felt lost and he did not realize it is who actually is going to help him. And his own consciousness must have played with him, directing him to manage his plane and to have a safe landing. We may have different answers, no objections to that. You ponder upon this. That was the story. That is what the writer here tries to explain and elaborate to us readers. That amidst the deepest of fears, we have the light. That light most probably lies within, which we need to use to rise up again like the flames of fire. Thank you.